3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Let's see. September 4th, the defendant failed to appear. Miss Phillips, I trust you posted that $1,000 cash or surety bond.
Well, yes, I didn't have a choice.
Right. Well, you could have stayed in jail, but that's not a very good choice. All right. We are showing in count one that you are driving, the state's alleging you are driving without a tag or an expired tag, November 8th of 23. And then that the vehicle not only had an expired tag, but a plate was on there that wasn't assigned to it.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
with
Amended.
court certification, I am showing that an amended information was filed back in June of 2024.
Okay, let me go off of that one then. Is this the case where she was here and there were allegations of identity theft or something? I remember her name associated with that. That case was dismissed, wasn't it?
Your Honor, I would need to review my notes further, but the state's understanding is that is an unrelated matter.
Unrelated. Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Phillips, there is an amended information, as counsel said, that was filed June 12th of 2024. And that, the official charging document that you're on today, alleges in count one that you were on November 8th, 2023 in Butler County operating a motor vehicle on a highway of this state while displayed was a license plate or registration decal other than the one assigned. As charged, this is an unclassified misdemeanor and it carries a fine up to $2,500 and a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. Failure to register, count two, was dismissed by the state on June 11, 2024. Then in count three, you're accused of operating that vehicle without insurance or at least being able to provide proof. That is as charged, a B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a $300 fine up to $1,000 and up to 6 months in the county jail. Count four alleges that you apparently moved from the address given when you applied for and received your Kansas driver's license, and you failed to notify the Division of Motor Vehicles of the new address within 10 days after moving. This charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, which typically carries a fine up to $500 and a possible sentence up to 30 days. I don't know what your history is. I don't know if
that should have also been dropped because I brought that in. I did that over the internet.
I'm sorry, what did you bring in?
I dropped that. Oh, I did that over the internet. My change of address and had brought that in. The date that was on my actual ticket that the officer gave me, I came in on that date. There was no court date. I brought in that change of address then.
Are you going to want an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you going to be able to hire an attorney or do you need to apply for counsel?
I can try and hire an attorney.
You think you have the means to do so? Okay. Well, if you don't, please get an application. You might take an application with you in case you don't. Like maybe you get out there and you find out that they're more expensive than you thought or something like that. So while you're here in the courthouse, it doesn't hurt to take a form with you. And if you need a court appointed, get that back to me soon. Don't wait till your next court date.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, the next attorney docket traffic date, Destiny, is that April 16th also?
No, Your Honor, that would be March 17th.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those courtroom stories where every appearance somehow gets worse than the last. Today's defendant, Tracy Phillips, is a self-styled sovereign citizen who believes the blame the system and eventually spiral into full courtroom chaos. What makes this case so compelling isn't just the charges, it's the pattern. Every judge gives her opportunities. Every hearing explains her options. And every time, she chooses the path that makes things harder for herself. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how sovereign citizen logic collapses when it meets actual law, and why judges eventually stop entertaining nonsense. Pay attention to how patient the court is at first, and how that patience slowly turns into firm boundaries. Because this isn't just about traffic violations anymore. It's about accountability. And Tracy is about to run headfirst.
Say, Miss Phillips, this is, of course, not your first appearance. That was back September 4th, and you failed to appear at that hearing. Then you were here January 8th, and you wanted to hire an attorney. You were informed that if you were able to hire, you needed to fill out an application, which apparently you did not do.
Not for public defender, no.
So how do you want to proceed on these 4 traffic charges: driving without tag, driving without tag displayed, driving without insurance, and driving without changing your address or phone or no?
Yeah, I changed my address. I wasn't driving this vehicle. I mean, I drive a company truck.
All right, so you're pleading not guilty. You want this set
Yes,
for
ma'am.
trial?
Yes, I do.
And are you going to have an attorney represent you?
I'm going to try to. I'm trying to find an attorney.
Okay, but you don't want to apply for court appointed, is that right?
No, I don't. Last one threw me under the bus. I prefer not to do that.
Okay, we're going to go to trial at 1:30 on, what's your next trial date, Jen?
May 14th.
May 14th at 1:30. You must be back here. You can either be in person or by Zoom, May 13th or May 14th at 1:30.
Okay.
But with or without counsel, we're going to take this to trial because...
Not a problem.
This is where Tracy's problems officially begin, by not showing up at all. Courts take failure to appear seriously, because the entire system depends on people doing the bare minimum, showing up when ordered. The judge even gives her the benefit of the doubt, acknowledging that service might have been misunderstood. But the result is the same, a warrant and bond. Notice how straightforward this is. No drama. No lectures. Just cause and effect. You don't show up, the court responds. And that $1,000 cash bond? That's not punishment, it's leverage to ensure compliance next time. This moment matters because everything that follows stems from it. Tracy isn't starting from neutral anymore. She's already on the court's radar.
Charged with a tag violation, another form of tag violation,
What?
no liability insurance, and not changing your address. We are set for trial. Are you wanting to have a trial on that, Miss Phillips, or do you want to try to talk to the county attorney and come to a resolution? What's your plan on this, since you're representing yourself?
I'm sorry, I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the internet.
Get that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. It's for your
Well,
driver's license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insurance. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Ms. Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Ms. Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you do. You have had the opportunity since November 8th of 23 to either
Yes, ma'am,
hire
I did.
an attorney
To
or
hire an
apply.
attorney. Nobody wants to take my case.
All right. And if you cannot afford an attorney, you've had
It's
the
not
opportunity.
about not affording it. because I
had
have money to hand to an attorney. Nobody wants to take my case to deal with Butler County, is the
All
problem.
right. The alternative, if you could not afford it, you could have applied for court appointed. Am I correctly understanding you to say, though, that you could afford it, you just couldn't find an attorney to take the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right. And so you're going to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are we going by?
Here's where reality fully sets in. The judge carefully walks through each charge, one by one, with dates, locations, statutes, and penalties. This isn't abstract, it's specific. Multiple violations. Multiple counts. Real consequences. And the judge makes something very clear: some charges have already been dismissed, which directly undercuts any narrative that the court is out to get her. This is due process in action. Tracy is informed, corrected, and given space to respond. But notice how she immediately tries to argue facts instead of procedure, claiming things were already handled without evidence or documentation. That's a recurring theme in this case, assumption replacing proof. At this point, the court is still neutral. Still patient. Still willing to move forward cleanly. Tracy just hasn't realized how many chances she's already been given.
Jury.
This is not a jury trial because it was set for bench trial. You didn't ask for a jury trial.
I didn't consent to any of this, but.
All right. So you want to proceed with trial, or did you want to try to negotiate an outcome with the prosecutor?
I can speak with the prosecutor.
Well, I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm just trying to afford you the opportunity that an attorney would take if he represented you.
I understand. I understand.
All right. So what is your wish? Do you want, if he's willing to talk to you and try, if he's willing to consider a negotiation, are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to, or that there'll be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is finding that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right. Is the officer still there with you, Ms. Phillips?
I am.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that. Basically, Ms. Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them, and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't, but that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.
Well, he doesn't want to do it until he makes sure that you are knowingly waiving your rights.
Because then I'm giving up a right to speak. That makes no sense, Your Honor. Truly.
Independent of whether you talk to him or not.
I'm sorry?
Regardless of whether you talk to him or not, do you want an attorney?
Well, he said himself he didn't want, he wasn't willing to until I signed this waiver.
That's right.
Waiving my right. He didn't want to speak to me until then.
If you're going to go out and get an attorney, he has to ethically go through the attorney. And that's why he is following his conscience on the ethical issue.
Okay.
and his obligations.
This whole thing is an ethical issue, ma'am. Let's see,
You're muted. Deputy Wise, you muted?
That was me. I just explained to her what this waiver meant so that the attorney could talk to her.
All right, well, be careful giving her legal advice. I think it could,
it wasn't. It was very simple.
I just tell her about
It was
the form.
layman's terms.
okay.
Do you need me to sign this?
Yes, put your name there and sign it there for me.
Only if you believe
Do I
you
need-
understand. Ms.
Yep,
Phillips?
I understand. Do I need to sign it in my straw man name or my birth name?
This exchange is critical. The judge explicitly warns Tracy not to delay and gives her multiple paths forward: hire private counsel or apply for court-appointed representation. She's even encouraged to take the paperwork, just in case. That's the court bending over backward to prevent future problems, but here's the key detail: this warning is now on the record. Tracy has been told what to do, how to do it, and by when. There's no ambiguity. So when she later claims she had no choice or no opportunity, this moment becomes the receipts. Orts don't punish people for lacking resources. They punish people for ignoring instructions. And Tracy is about to find out the difference the hard way.